Canadian families are facing a critical pain point right now. The price of food and gas is high, but then throw on one interest rate hike after another, and homeowners could be paying several extra $100s in interest every month. So you're probably having this discussion with your family. Like, what are the options right now? For that, we're going to turn to financial commentator Pattie Lovett-Reid. Pattie, nice to see you.
Good morning, Lindsey. Nice to be here.
Bear with me, because I'm going to give our viewers just examples of what we're dealing with here. Okay, so let's go over an average Canadian budget just to see how expensive life is right now. So the price of gas, let's start there, has gone up, what, 50% in the last year to around $2 a litre. For the average driver, that means it costs $96 to fill up, right, a tank. The price of food has gone up 9.7%. That means a $100 grocery bill is now more likely like $110. In May, the average house price was $711,000. If you put 20% down at 2.7 variable rate, that translates to $2,605. And then you put the interest rate hike at 3.7%, and that number jumps to, well, $300 more, to about $2,900. Okay, another example. Let's say you have a $500,000 fixed rate mortgage at 2.1. Your monthly payment would have been a little more than $2,100 a month. Now it jumps to about $2,500. So these are some examples. I mean, it's adding up to a lot of pressure for families. So how are people going to cope with all of this?
Well, I wish I had one answer that fits all, because I simply don't. But what I can tell you is that households are looking at their basket of goods when we talk about inflation. Where are they spending their money? You know, the fact that rates are going higher, that's not breaking news. We knew that. A lot of families started to move into fixed rate mortgages rather than the variable rate if they were in a position to do so, meaning that they didn't have to break their mortgage, but if they could, they did. When they look at what they're spending their money on, according to MMP, they have basically outlined that 27% have cut back on necessities, 37% are now buying cheaper versions, and when it comes to dining and travel and entertainment, 46% have cut back. So the point is, in an environment like this, where you feel like you have absolutely no control, you do have a little control, and you sort of make the cuts and the pullbacks where you can. But Lindsey, can I also say, we're not going to be in this forever. It's cyclical.
Important. Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to get through it, but we're not through it. And it's going to take some time.
And it's going to be a painful process for most people. And according to Stats Can, I want to talk about where to pull that money from. 24% of Canadians have said they had to dip into their savings to cover expenses. Yes. So is that better than going into debt? What's the thought on that?
Yes. Well, from my perspective, yes, because money sitting in a savings account is making next to nothing. If you decide to borrow by way of a line of credit or put it on your credit card, we already see those variable rate products going higher. So it's going to cost you more. There are families here in Canada that are sitting on money that they were able to tuck aside, gave them some financial flexibility during the pandemic. They may not want to draw down on this way, but it is certainly an option. It's temporary. They may be able to build it back up. And by the way, for years, I've been talking about having an emergency fund, money set aside for when you need it. I would argue that in this environment, for some households, it's considered to still be an emergency, and you draw down on it.
What can people do if they're in trouble right now?
Well, I think there's no embarrassment. There are a lot of households that are in trouble. I think you speak to family, to friends. You may be able to reach out to your creditors. What you don't want to do is hide. I mean, I don't think you want to say, okay, I'm not going to answer the phone. I'm not going to open my bills, because you're not the only person in this situation. So it's a matter of reaching out where you can. I know, Lindsey, you know, I've done some work with Home Equity Bank. There are many Canadians who have built up a lot of money inside their home, but they don't have access to it.
Yeah.
It may cost more, but you may want to take a little money out of your home to give you some financial flexibility. Not for everyone, but my point is, you need to explore every option. No, it's not embarrassing, and know that there are people there to help you get through this.
That is a really good point to end on, Pattie. We always appreciate your insight. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you liked this, be sure to subscribe here, or you can check out more Your Morning videos right here.